Hi friends and companions on this path of spiritual practice. For those of you who have been listening in, I've tried to frame and map out just a little bit of this meditation practice by talking about the wandering mind, that meditation helps us to lead to a focused mind. And then as we apply that focused mind to discover our afflicted mind. And then as we practice with our afflicted mind, we enter into that more subtle awareness of being mindful of what's in our mind in the first place, and then leading to wisdom mind. It's this area of mindful mind where meditation practice and mindfulness really finds traction in Buddhist practice. As you step into mindful mind, you become aware of intentions and orientations and dispositions and values that are foundational to who we are. Values that are modes of appreciation, or values that reflect patterns of meaning that shape who we are, what our concerns might be. Values that are birth sites of meaning and purpose. Values that are shorthand for how we can conduct ourselves in the world. And so this place of mindfulness of our mind is really the starting point of what Buddhism would call working with our karma. Some of you know that the word karma or kamma literally means action. Action of speech, mind, and body. Or in Buddhism, karma gets at right speech, right action, right way of life. For this reason, some people really think about karma as about behavior. Behavior, which is that range of actions and responses to stimulus around us. But I would ask us to actually more accurately think about karma not as behavior, but as conduct. So the way that I distinguish behavior and conduct, behavior is much more general. It really is about that wide range or continuum of actions. Conduct asks, what is it that shapes and guides and deploys certain behavior over others? Conduct recognizes that behavior rises out of the governing norms and needs, the narrative of each singular moment followed by singular moment. Conduct is about calibrating our action, our behavior, coordinating it so that it leads to something more conducive. Or another way that I think about it, conduct is like the orchestra conductor. There are all sorts of instruments, all sorts of narrative in the music, the composition. And the conductor's responsibility is to coordinate, to bring all of the voices and the narrative strands of that musical moment so that it sings. I'm thinking about conduct as I think about an imagined moment between a 3-year-old child, her parent, and a new toy ball. I'm imagining a high-rise apartment and they're out on the balcony and the mother is introducing this new toy ball to her child. She holds the ball as the child eagerly, curiously waits, and the mother asks, "I wonder what this is?" And the 3-year-old tries to reach for the ball, but the mother pulls back and holds the ball close. "What is this?" the mother asks her child. And the mother says, "It's a toy ball. It's a ball." And after several exchanges, the child learns to comply and says, "Ball. I want ball." And so the mother hands the ball to the child, and they roll it back and forth and have fun playing. But then the child has an idea, takes the ball, sneaks it and hides it behind her back, and the game has changed. And the mother tries to sneak her hands behind to get the ball, but the child runs to the edge of the balcony, looks over, and the child throws the ball off the balcony. The mother looks alarmed, concerned, rushes to the balcony, makes sure that her child is safe, and then turns around and looks at the child in such a way so that the child knows that the game has stopped. And the mother says, "No, don't throw things off the balcony. It could hurt somebody, and now the ball is lost." The mother is trying to communicate that what is right and wrong oftentimes is difficult, even painful to learn. Now consider a similar incident, but with a very different set of values and conduct between the mother and the child and the ball. The mother holds the ball, but does not even use the word ball, but looks at the ball and cherishes the ball, and then holds the ball out to her daughter with two hands. And the child knows that there is something ritualistic and significant transpiring. And the child takes the ball with two hands as well. And then the mother extends her hand asking for the return of the ball. And the child returns the ball to the mother, and the mother says, "Thank you." And then the child is given the ball, and the child has learned to say, "Thank you." And the mother and the child roll the ball back and forth and play. And just as in the first situation, the child sneaks the ball behind, runs to the edge of the balcony, and throws the ball over. But instead of stopping the play, imagine the mother walking to the balcony's edge and takes time looking down. So much time that the child also walks over and looks down, wondering what might be down there. The child and the mother continuing to play. And then the mother looks down and sees a leaf, picks it up from the balcony, holds it up, just like holding up the ball, and drops the leaf as the mother and the child looks at the movement of the falling leaf to the ground below. In this play, the ball is not lost. The ball is still there, holding the child and the parent in relationship. The ball is not lost and the play is not lost. And the mother has not used the word no, perhaps because no is so powerful at interrupting, and the child does not know the narrative situation of various situations enough to understand when to use no and when to refrain. Two incidents where in the first, the priority is about knowing vocabulary, knowing how to name things for what they are. But in the second, it's not so much about learning words, but about the social grammar of relationships. That words don't name things, words order a certain way of conducting ourselves. I'm thinking about values and I'm thinking about conduct, of how we listen and how we pay attention to the narrative that describes situation after situation, and how we conduct ourselves so that karma is a true reflection of our most sacred values. Friends, the world's narrative is in between stories at this moment. Karma is critical. As our individual and collective karma plays out, we take time to practice mindfulness of mind and how our practice shapes karma. And so we continue with our spiritual practice.